Hello, and welcome to CAP at Home with the College for Creative Studies. I am Miss Ivy, and today you will learn how to make awesome, uniquely beautiful beads. The beads will be for you to be able to design gorgeous necklaces, bracelets, earrings, whatever it is that you would like, such as the sample here. So we're going to make beads out of fabric. We will make beads out of paper. And if you joined me last week, I did a program where we use cotton balls to paint. So we have this paper that we're going to turn into, and this was one of the samples I did, and we're going to turn this into some beads. We're going to make beads out of this. So get ready. The only thing that you'll need, we'll go over a couple of tools. You will need your scissors, paintbrush, pencils of different size. I like my crochet needle. I love to crochet, but this is going to help make some wonderful beads. So, and since I didn't have toothpicks right now, I have forks. Forks, you're going to need the little forks. They're wonderful for placing your beads on once you glue them. So this is a nice little process. So hold on and get ready. So if you have your paintbrushes out, we'll lay them out. And now I'm going to take this now off of me, and we're going to my workstation. Okay. Let's get you zoomed in real good here. Okay. So if you can see everything, I have a dish with plenty of some beads that I did prior to. I'm making a little dress out of this kind of material. So I made a couple beads because it's going to be a pillowcase dress and they're going to go on. I might make a little necklace to go with the pillowcase dress. So this is one fabric. We have some other fabric that was sort of cute that I found. And I said, well, I'm going to make a little bead out of that one. And I made a bigger bead. This will go like in the middle, okay, of a necklace. So we have all other different types of paper beads, and they do stick together, so you got to make sure. Small beads, different size beads, different kinds of beads. I love this color. The yellow is sort of bright. And this is leather, okay? We made a little leather bead. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make all of those various types of beads. You can take any kind of fabric, an old shirt, an old pair of jeans or something, and you can design beautiful beads. So we're going to go, I'm going to move this to the side now, and I want to show you some fabric. This is one that we're going to work on, and I want to show you some paper. Now I did sort of pre-cut this paper, but I'm going to show you how to cut it. And I was sort of testing something out. This is a different kind of a bead, and I like the way that the paper just unrolls right here. So, but it was cut in an angle, as you can see. And I simply took my crochet needle, used the handle of it, and I just wrap it around, right? Okay. Now, as I'm wrapping, this is the beginning of just sort of wrapping this particular kind of bead. And I'm going to use my glue. And you want glue, okay? This is a regular kind of glue, but Mod Podge will be what we're going to really seal the bead with. Then I have leather glue, okay? This is a leather cement, and this particular glue is very helpful if you're working with heavy materials such as leather, other suede or something of that nature. I found some yellow glue that I'm going to do something with, okay? I mean, not yellow glue, but yellow leather that I'm going to do something with. Now, and let's talk about some of the materials first before I actually go into that process. I selected definitely a painted piece that I did a while ago for one of the other demonstrations, and so I'm using that paper. But you can also use like magazine covers, the little magazines for each month. They have different beautiful designs on them. you can turn anything into a bead. It's really awesome. I love the different colors of pinks in that tree. Those will all make beautiful, beautiful beads. So you can do so much. And this is just with an old calendar. Okay, so look around your house, see about a little calendar, and then I'll show you how to cut that up and get ready for the bead. But in the meantime, we're just going to work with this particular one. So we have a couple of different things we're going to do. And I'm just going to simply glue, just move that glue down. Now, yes, indeed, will it be messy? Of course. And you can wash the glue off your hands, right? And we're just gluing. Okay, we're just rolling. So it's easy with the crochet needle for me to, especially if you don't have anything else. You can use a pencil. I'll show you how to use a pencil because it's going to give you a different type of bead too as well. So, okay, so I have that bead, right? And I'm going to scoot it off and set it to the side because I'm going to put it now on my fork. This is going to be my bead holder. Okay, until I get ready to paint it with my Mod Podge. And I'm just going to put that over. I have a container. Okay, let me take all my other stuff, but I have a container of my forks for my bead holder. Okay. So now, so that was one bead, okay? And we can roll a couple more. And this is going to give us a bigger one. So we're just going to take this, roll it. I like the size again of this particular. I don't want my hole too big because we do want to be able to pull a string through it, but I don't want it too loose either. So we'll just take that and roll it. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry, okay? So we're gonna roll that. I love the color. Okay, and this was from a painted piece. So you just press down, okay? Slide that off and put it on your fork. Okay, and I'm just gonna space them so they don't let them dry real good. Okay. Now, okay, we're gonna cut up some things. So let's do the fabric now. So we're going to cut a couple of strips. I love this fabric. It has some cute little shiny little things here. And you don't have to go out and buy fabric. I just found this. It was actually, I think it's a upholstery fabric. So it was just hanging around. All right, so I'm going to cut a couple of strips and about 1 inch apart, okay? Maybe about 1.5 inches because I want to capture that gold piece in the middle there. And these are going to be smaller beads. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of inches of those. And I think, oh, you know what? I really want to capture this particular, all that gold right there. So I'm going to cut right here because I really want to capture that. So you can cut around fabric, right, of what designs you want to use. Okay, so now when I cut it like that, you have to fold it over and you're going to just simply glue it. So I'm just going to glue this because now just a little dab there, a little dab here, okay? All right, so I'm going to have the two. I'm just going to fold to the middle, from the out to the middle, okay? Press down, okay? Because it's fabric, it's going to work really good, okay? And we're going to press that down to the middle, okay? All right. Now I'm going to simply roll, and I want this again. I think I just sort of like this type of fabric and the size that it's giving me. And then you want to glue, add some more glue. And it can be any kind of glue, your Elmer's glue. Now don't forget, this is Miss Ivy. I love my glue dots. So I still have those, just in case something doesn't work. I rely on my glue dots. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut that excess off. We don't need it, okay? Alrighty, and I'm pressing down because I really wanna make sure, I hope this glue works with this particular fabric. If not, I'm going to my glue dots. And I'll show you again how to use those if you haven't had a class with me. Slide that off. Now I'm gonna put that also onto one of the forks, okay? And that's my holder. Okay, because we're going to paint them with the Mod Podge, okay, in a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna make a couple more. And just glue, dab, 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 dab. Okay, fold in, press down, real good. Fold in, and it's best if you have a mat, some kind of little mat. This was just the back of a board that I'm using right here. But have something, especially when you're working with glues and things of that nature, so you won't have too much of a mess and stickiness. And it's okay if it's on that. So always when you're doing any kind of art projects, have you a nice little work mat. Okay, and you can create a work mat out of anything. Okay, and we're just rolling that all around, okay? And just roll, 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 okay? Slide it off, and we're gonna pop it right onto our little fork, okay? So I think they're ready, okay? All right, now before we go to the next one, this is what I'm gonna do, because I do want those to dry. And okay, just in case you're not sure how long it's gonna take to dry, let's paint them, okay? So you have your Mod Podge, okay? All right, and I don't like this particular brush, I'm gonna tell you, but I like a brush that's a little thinner. So anytime you wanna thin out your brushes, all you have to do is just cut them a little bit to the side, just on an angle, and that'll sort of thin them out some. So you can, just, yep, so you're just a little thinner. So I'm just gonna dip it into my Mod Podge. Okay, I'm gonna cover paint all around that bead, okay? And just go, don't be afraid, just go ahead and cover it up, okay? Don't be afraid, cover it up. And that'll make it stick down even more so. But it's gonna give it a nice glaze, and it's gonna firm it up. So as you're painting, but we're gonna let it dry too. So while I'm doing some other beads with the paper, we're gonna let that dry, okay? And just paint. And a little bit more Mod Podge on the other one. I'm gonna let it dry. So, and don't worry, it's gonna be white, I know, going on, but it's not going to take away from your color of your material or anything of that nature, okay? And I see this one wants to open up a little bit, so that means that that glue that I used didn't really seal that too good. So we're going to Mod Podge it, okay? All right, now I think we're ready to let it dry. But cover it real good, because you want it to have a nice glaze. It's going to dry, and it's going to dry to the original color of the fabric, okay? So you just paint it down real good. So we're going to put that to the side. Okay, the same for my other two beads. Okay, and we're going to paint those. I really like what the angle of this particular bead, because it gave me a different kind of, if you can see it up close, a different kind of texture. And this was paper that we painted for another class that we did. If you go back onto our Cap at Home classes, you'll see that this was one of the projects that we did as far as painting with cotton balls last week. So, and I can't wait to get to that one, because I want to see how it turns out, right? All right, so we'll just cover it real good and let it dry. Okay. Put the top back on. Always put your tops back on, okay? We're going to take this paintbrush. We're going to place it right over into a little container until I'm ready for it. Okay, so now this is the paper that we did last Thursday. So now I'm going to cut it in strips, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make beads out of this. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to cut it into some really cool strips. First going to cut straight. Okay, and it's a little hard. Okay, because the cotton actually dried on it. Okay, and I'm gonna cut it into a little strip going up because I want to capture all of that piece. Now this is gonna be a bigger bead, and that's okay. Okay, wonderful. And I want it into a little bit more of an angle. Okay, but I want to get all the, if you can see all the little texture on it. Okay, can you see that? Yeah. Alrighty. So we're going to use this part too. We're not going to let anything go. I'm going to cut some of that off, and we will go into a straight angle here. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to cut a couple more. All right. And because I like the way that the angles really give me a nice little bead, I want to do the rest of them like that too as well. And when you come into the angle, you just flip the card, your paper upside down. Okay, you see how I'm cutting this way? Okay, I'm gonna cut some of that because I don't want that other end. And so I'm flipping it over and I'm cutting it this way now. I can't wait, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see how this comes out. Really cool. It'll be so nice when you get ready to go back to school. You can have you a whole jewelry line, okay? Or you can just do something for your book bag or your locker space. So you can show, or you can make gifts for your family members and friends, okay? So we have, I'm gonna put my scissors up now. We have everything laid out, okay? All right, good. So this is what I'm gonna work with now. So we are going into, let's see, we're gonna start with a big one. I wanna start with my largest one, which will be this one, okay? And I'm gonna simply, and again, this paper is pretty tough, so I'm gonna wrap it, start wrapping, okay? All right, let's see how it works out for us. And I'm gonna glue. And start going all the way down to the end. Let that glue start setting it. And let's see what kind of bead we get. Oh, wow. Okay, I like that. Okay, yep, I like that. Now, I don't want that tip, so I'm going to cut that tip off. I see I don't need that tip. I'm cutting that off. Okay, because I don't want it to, and then I just dab a little bit more glue there. Okay, I'm going to press down real good because I see my, yeah, press down real good. Okay. Yeah, press, 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 press. Just go in a circular motion. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I like that bead. Isn't that cool? Okay. So we're going to let that dry a little bit, then we'll Mod Podge it. That's sweet. Oh, I really like that. Okay, so let's do some more. Okay, I think for the most part, I'm to cut the little tips off because I see at the end, I won't need them. Okay. So we're gonna wrap again. So once you get enough made and you want to start putting it on a rope or a piece of yarn or a string, you decide on how you want to do that, okay? So let's see, I'm gonna glue, glue, glue real good, especially the tips there, okay? And then we're just gonna keep gluing, rolling it around that. Let that glue really get in there and set. Okay. Okay. All right. Now that I see I have a little edge here and I see some of the white part, I don't really want that white part on my bead, so I'm going to just sort of trim it. okay? I'm just gonna trim that. I don't want that there. So I'm trimming it, and it's okay. Because I'm the designer of this bead. I could trim it if I want to, right? Okay. And the other side too as well. Okay. All right, we're gonna let that one dry also. Okay, let's see what other ones. Oh, this is cute. Let's try this one. Oh, now that's colorful all the way to the tip. We're just going to trim this. I don't want that white part anywhere showing. And we're gonna do the same thing. Get that started. Let it roll. And then I'll show you how we can actually, we're gonna paint them with the Mod Podge. And you have to let it dry. So, and then I'll show you how you can really put it together into a really cute necklace or something of that nature, okay? Okay, all right. So you press it down, slide it off, and that's ready to dry, okay? We will paint it with the Mod Podge, the ones we just did, okay? We will just paint them. Okay, oop, don't want it to come off. So we're gonna paint it. And this is a little bit more textured because of the cotton ball material on there. So we have to really make sure that we cover that very, very, very well. And just painting it all around. Really cool. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry some more. Okay, and they're drying. You can see how fast they're drying now too. So we will paint that bead. That is really a cool bead. Very cool. So as you're designing your beads, think about what you want to do with them, okay? You can do really fun things. And if you have some other necklaces or something that you want to add to your necklace, you can. We're just gonna let that dry real good. Okay, very good. And again, anything that's on your hands, you know, Mod Podge, paint or anything, you can always wash it off. That's part of cleanup, actually. Okay, so we're gonna let all that dry now. Okay, now that we have a few that's already ready for us, I'm gonna show you how to put it together. Oh, before we do, let me show you about the calendar. Your calendar. We have all those beautiful colors. We're gonna cut a couple pieces off and we're gonna roll those, okay? So don't be afraid. I know this was March. March is gone, okay? So I think I could use this. All right, so we're going to just cut, I'll just cut strips. I'm gonna cut little strips. Okay, cut a couple little strips here. Okay, so paper, yes, is more versatile. It's easy to use, but I like fabric. I like to use all different types of materials. So we're gonna just cut that in an angle, and I'm gonna do something sort of different here. I'm gonna cut this into another angle. Okay, those are different kind of angles, and we're gonna flip that over, and I think I'm gonna cut that into a different angle too as well. Okay, so we're gonna take those, and let's start wrapping those two as well. And you see I'm really catering to this needle. Okay, my crochet needle is very versatile right now. And we're just gonna roll. We're gonna glue the same process. But we're gonna see how this paper, which is a heavier, calendars have a heavier, glossy kind of texture to them. So very smooth. So this is rolling really nice and easy, okay? Okay, and I'm pressing it down. Okay, I'm gonna put that over onto one of my forks. Okay, this is gonna give us a different type of feel too as well. So let's see what we get out of this one. I'm gonna roll it, okay? And then place it down, and let's glue it now. Add glue to it, really good, okay? All right, and keep rolling, 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 rolling. We'll see what kind of bead we get. All right, and the glue will push on out, but that's okay, no problem. Okay, we want it to push on out. Okay. So you see you have all those different beautiful colors from the paper, and they just sort of blend into a really nice bead. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry over here. Okay, all right. So now that we have all that, and I always have some wet paper towel near you so you can wipe your hands off. Okay, all right. So now that we have that, remember my tray, okay, of my previously made beads. I'm going to design now. Okay, I'm just a little strip. Okay, long enough for a necklace. And this is just a cord, okay? You can use string, yarn, anything. And this is just a cord, if you can see that. Okay, so we're just going to actually start designing something. So I'm gonna add that. You see I have my bead that's already has a beautiful hole there. And you're just gonna slide that on, okay? And slide that on. And we're gonna slide another one on, okay? It was sort of like the same fabric, so I'm going to right now just sort of knot it because I think I want to have a different type. Now if you knot it, you're just gonna make a little loop, bring that together and pull it tight. So you have your beads that sort of will be somewhat locked in, okay? And we're gonna add a few more on. Okay, to make a really cool bead. I think I'll add this leather piece in here. And I think I'll add now this one. Okay, I just folded that over and glued it. That was easy. I didn't do a lot of rolling on that. Okay, and we're gonna keep adding on another. Okay, oop, I think I'll add the leather. Let's have a nice little balance to it. Okay. So if you can see where I'm going with this, all right, can you see that? Okay. Okay, all right. So you have the makings of a pretty nice piece of jewelry, okay? And if you put it there, you can see your design, okay? Right there. All right, so that would make a very nice gift if you decide to make something like that. And now for cleanup, and I'm just going to put that to the side. Okay, but you'll end up with beautiful beads. Keep practice, review the video again, and you can make gorgeous beads, something that you can do for the rest of the summer until school start, and you can go back with some really gorgeous designs. So now clean up. We put everything up. You tighten up all of your tubes. Tighten up your Mod Podge. You really want to make sure that's tightened up. And you put everything up, all your pencils, anything that you use glue for. Make sure you wipe it off. Okay, such as my crochet hook, I will be wiping that off and cleaning it up. And always put your paintbrushes up. I didn't use these, so they're good, but always put them up in a safe place. Your scissors, make sure they're closed, okay, and you put those up. So cleanup should not take long. All of your scrap material, you make sure that you put them in a safe place because you can always use them again. Well, I just want to say thank you very much for joining me for this awesome bead making project. And I look forward to, please make some, post them. I would love to see your beautiful, gorgeous beads that you have made. And if you make them into a necklace, that I just showed you how to. Post it, okay? And wear it and show us, okay? We want to see all the designs. When my art colleagues, we love to do the videos, but we also love to see what projects you've made. So by all means, post them when you make them and show us what you've designed. Have a good day. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.